Have you ever gone to get your seed potatoes out of storage and found that they've sprouted and are long and lanky? No fear, they're still good, and I'm going to show you how to plant them. First things first, one of the most important things is getting some fertilizer and some amendments in the soil. So I'm going to grab some of my organic granulated fertilizer. We're going to grab some bone meal. It's a 217-0, and this is a powdered bone meal, so it's very dusty. So now that we've got all of our stuff, we're going to head down to the garden and I'm going to show you how to plant them. Here are the beds we're going to be putting these in. These are raised beds. I do have some cilantro in that bed, so we're going to skip that one for now. And these two over here, we're also going to plant. We're going to start in this one. First things first, we are going to dig a nice deep hole. And if you have long sprouted potatoes, try to get your hole, if you can, at least 12 inches deep. You could even go down to 18 inches. And I know sometimes people are planting in the ground, so that can be kind of difficult. But if you have ground and you have the space, I will tell you here in a little bit how you can plant those. So you can see my trowel is about 12 inches long, and I'm getting all the way about to that 12-inch mark. So first thing first, we are going to grab some of our granulated organic fertilizer. We're going to put a good little handful down in there in each one of our holes. And then we're going to take some of our bone meal. And bone meal you can put about 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup per hole. Now be sure you're standing downwind because the bone meal is very dusty and you don't want to be breathing it. But I just take my shovel and I work it in, and now my planting holes are ready. So just for fun, we're going to unwrap a few of these potatoes so you can see just what they look like when, even though they were in a cool, very dark location and wrapped tightly, they still were determined to grow. Look how much sprout is on this little potato. Now I am just going to very, very carefully get the paper off of these. Now just be careful you don't break off any shoots, or if you do, try to be very careful not to break off any more than one, because there's only so much food and nutrients in that potato to feed the sprouts to come up. And if you break off too many of them, you may not get a very good yield from your potatoes. Now this one is long and leggy, which is going to be a good example for one of the methods that we're going to show you today. And I am going to show you 3 different ways that you can plant them and why. And see how this one has little green leaves already on the end of it? It's just ready to go. So now I have my holes ready, and the first one we are going to just take and we're going to put down deep into that hole. And you can see there is still some sticking up above the top, and that is okay. I'm just going to gently press the potato down into the soil and then start working the loose material around it so it's secured around that sprout. And now the green leaves are still sticking up. And you can either completely cover them, or if your danger of frost has already passed, you can leave those little green leaves sticking up. But really, you just need to be sure that your frost danger has passed. You don't want to expose those tender little leaves to frost. Now this one, the sprout actually grew through the paper. So I am just going to take and very gently tear down to the sprout so that I can peel the paper off again without breaking that sprout. And then once we get this baby unwrapped, you can see just how crazy this one was already going. Now the important thing about putting a potato in the ground is you always want to make sure that your sprouts are facing upward. And you can see, because of the way I had wrapped and set these potatoes in storage, all of the sprouts were on the top of this potato. So we're going to take this one, we're going to drop it down into that nice deep hole. Going to very gently press it down in there. And again, I'm going to backfill it with all of that nice loose soil. And on this one, there is a little bit more sticking out because I have more room in this bed to pile more on top of here as it starts growing, or if there was some danger of frost, I could cover it up. But you could also do it this way. Now we're just going to real quickly unwrap the rest of the potatoes that are going to go in this bed. Now this long one is the one we're going to plant next. And there we have the rest of them for our bed. So now this one, you see how long the stem is on this one, and it's very kind of wiry. We're going to drop that way down in the hole, and we're going to start wrapping this in a circle. And so if you have long sprouts, you can very gently just twist them and lie them down into the soil and then just cover them up. And this one, I'm going to get that stem facing upward. I could leave that stem exposed, or I can just completely cover it. And again, you can see how this one's already winding on its own. I'm going to tuck that one down there and get that covered up. Now, if you're planting in raised beds where you have a lot of room, or you are planting actually in the ground, you can plant your potatoes with the sprout side leaning up as much as possible and get those sprouts going sideways in the soil, because they will end up bending up and reaching for the sun and be fine anyway. So if you don't have the room to go super deep, you can also plant them sideways. Now I just wanted to uncover some of the purple potatoes. We're going to be doing those next. And I will show you a little bit about how the purple potatoes are a little bit different than the white Kennebecs that I just planted. But a few tips on potatoes is just make sure that you use an organic fertilizer. The bone meal will not hurt them, and an organic time-release fertilizer will not hurt them, but you don't want to use anything synthetic like a 10-10-10 and have that next to the roots and the sprouts, because you could damage your potato. Now we'll unwrap a few more here. They're all just kind of hairy, aren't they? I just love it. But see this purple potato? Can you see how stocky that sprout is? Unlike the Kennebecs that were a little bit thinner, these are very thick, and it's almost the same size as my pinky, believe it or not, and they don't bend. So this would be a good example if they were super, super long. Plant them deep like I've been doing, and either have the leaves exposed or completely cover them, or you could turn these ones sideways as well. Now I just wanted to show you with the purple potatoes, I have the beds prepared with the same bone meal and the organic granulated fertilizer. And these ones, again, because my danger of frost is past, I'm just going to leave the tip with the leaves sticking up right there. And as they grow a little bit more, again, I will bring more material in and mound them a little bit. This is the last one that I will show you. This one has quite a few sprouts on it. And again, it grew through the paper. And if you've never had purple potatoes before, I would suggest you check them out just for the experience, because the inside are the most gorgeous color of purple. And when my kids were younger, they loved it when I made purple French fries. And they're the type where you cook them, they still stay purple. So you can see how much I have left sticking up out of this. This will actually bend and reach up towards the sun. And as it does that, I'll just add some more material around it. So those are the 3 ways that you can plant long potato sprouts. And I've got everything labeled and ready to go, so I know what's growing where. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would totally appreciate it. And I just want to thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time.